Hi, I'm Ben, and this is my spoiler review on Shazam Fury of the Gods. So if you haven't seen any, don't want to know any spoilers, go to my other video if you don't want to know any spoilers. But anyway, here's my spoiler-free review, my spoiler review. Okay, so Shazam Fury of the Gods. In the trailers, they show that there's two gods of Atlas, but Goddess of Atlas, but there's actually three. Yeah, they built her up as a girlfriend for Freddy, but then it's revealed that I thought she was going to be an antagonist, but then she is revealed to be on their side at the later end. But yeah, I thought there wasn't some good writing. Like there's a part where those bullies, like remember the bullies from the first movie? They come back, but then they pick on him, but then they're like, why didn't you stand up to those guys? But I'm like, why didn't she help out? Like, he's still a bit of a cripple, so and there's the bull and there's the principal, and he's played by that guy who does so many voices in other movies. He has that deep voice. He voiced Batman on Batman Brave and the Bold. If you recognize his voice, it's him. But yeah, he was in it. And Fred's girlfriend, who is the one of the goddess of Atlas, I forget her name, but she Anne, that's her name, right. Her name's Anne. So Anne was so there's a scene where the bullies are picking on her and I'm like, why isn't Anne helping? But then they're like, I didn't want to be a bully like them or something like that uh, and I forget, but I'm like, well, you're a hero to me. I'm like, you did nothing and he did nothing. And then there's a scene where he was like, "You helped me from those bullies." I'm like, "No, he didn't. They were picking on him, and you did nothing." Like what? Like I guess there are some bad writing in this. If you remember in my other review, I said like maybe I'm been too critical at the first beginning because at the ending there's a lot of cool stuff. Like if you saw the trailers, they fought a dragon. Like that's awesome. Like I always wanted to see a superhero movie where they fight big monsters and stuff. And there's like ogres, like minotaurs, like that lion creature was the scorpion body, and there's like a, a cyclops creature, and that's awesome. Also, there's an obsession with unicorns with the youngest daughter, and sorry, I forget her name. And they're like, there's no such thing as unicorns. But then he sees monsters like, maybe again that's not possible. Like that made me chuckle a bit, but I'm like, you literally saw monsters. I think say, the existence of unicorns is not impossible. So they find unicorns. They're all black and creatures, and the little girl tries to give them Skittles. It's like taste the rainbow. Now this didn't really feel like a product placement. This felt like a reference. Like she's a little girl. She could have said that anyways. Like so that is kind of funny. And there's a scene where it's like taste the rainbow, mother, and the unicorns went nay, and that made my mom laugh and I laughed. Like that part's really funny. Like I thought that part was funny. So, but yeah, the Daughters of Atlas. So there's three of them, and the girlfriend Anne, like Andrea something, tries to help out and even helps them escape from this maze. And the wizard comes back and he's a good and he tries to help them, but he regrets choosing Billy now because he broke the staff. And yeah, remember the staff from the first movie that the wizard had and Savanti had? It comes back, and the goddesses use it to stop him, to stop the to try to take over the world and or take over the city. And there's like this giant dome which is kind of similar to that made me think of the Simpsons movie. But anyway, so they try to take over the city with monsters, which I thought was a cool scene. Like at the third act it was really cool. In the first act there was like maybe some parts I was getting impatient. Like I like the song "I Need a Hero." Like they made a joke like, "Whoa, was this song playing while I was saving you?" Like like that part was pretty neat that they did that. But maybe I was getting impatient. Like I was like, "All right, save the girl, save the characters, save the girl. Where's the heroes coming?" and excuse me, I might have been getting a bit impatient, like maybe I was not in a good mood when I saw this. Like I was getting like there were some parts I was getting a bit critical with. Like I thought Zachary Levi Shazam was getting a bit annoying, and like I said, there were some jokes where I thought was similar to how people's problem was in Thor: Love and Thunder, where he was like where there was jokes at inappropriate times. Like there was a part where one of the goddesses, the older lady, was reading a note from them, and I couldn't tell. Like maybe that joke was funny, but I couldn't tell. Maybe it was in a weird mood. But then they were like reading it, and I don't know how to feel about the goddesses of no wait back to the note. So they were reading the note, and there were like because they were reading it, and then they were repeating all the things, and I thought like, is that supposed to be funny? Like, cause it was like Shazam writing it down, and I should point out there's a character that's a pen, and it's like a living pen character, and it responds by writing stuff down, and I kind of like that pen character. He was pretty adorable, but he was repeating everything Shazam was saying or Billy, and he was and it was like, let's do this. Oh, I hope they read this. And it was literally writing stuff down, and I thought, is that supposed to be funny? Maybe it was funny, but maybe I wasn't in a good mood to listen to it. But maybe because there's a lot of pacing that I thought maybe the pacing they didn't build it up as funny. And there's another pacing scene where there's a running thing where Billy isn't ready to call his adopted mom yet, because I feel like they didn't dwell on that much about in the series. Like they didn't have them interact, and at the end, he does call him mom, but I feel like there was not enough scenes to go in to have them build up to say mom, to have him call his mom. But yeah, and the Daughters of Atlas, I don't know if they're good enough villains. Like I looked them up, they were never in the comics. They were just made up for. Well, there are based off actual Greek or Roman gods that, but they never really were. But they never were in the comics. I think they were somewhat made up for the movie, but I feel like they should have chose comic book villains. Like, why wasn't Black Adam the villain? Like, they made a stand like yeah, that movie bombed, but they made a standalone movie anyways, and then they like, let's make him this. And here's something that's frustrating me. A lot of the DC movies are bombing. Like the Suicide Squad bombed, Black Adam bombed, and I bring these up because they're kind of connecting. And I should point out, there's a mid-credit scene and an after-end credit scene. The mid-credit scene is where the two characters from the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker came back, and they brought up the Justice Society. And there's a part where I like where they're talking to Shazam, and then they're like, we want you to join the Justice. I'm in. I can't wait to join the Justice League. And like, no, we're gonna join the Justice Society. Yeah, I think he was a Justice Society member in the comics, like in the old comics. But anyway, so there is a so they do the what I like about the first Shazam movie where they try to satirize DC Comics, which themselves are DC Comics. Like, wait, you're letting me join you have two names that have justice in the title. Like that's kind of confusing branding. Like I do like they still fail try to be faithful to the comics, but make fun of all the tropes. Like that I like. Like that's what I like about the first Shazam movie, and what I feel like they should have done more here. But here they're like. But here's the best part. He uses his phone and try to look about their name, like maybe the Authority Society or the Code Society, but then he's like, oh, how about the Avengers Society? Yeah, they reference the Avengers in this. Like, and he said, I like that for some reason. Like, I like that they still pay tribute to the Avengers by not bashing them. Like, I love that. Like, I love that they finally that DC referenced the Avengers. I love that. But yeah, what makes me sad is that this movie might bomb, so and they're connected to other two movies that might bomb, but that sucks because I really like superhero cinematic universe like Marvel's and even DC at times, but see, and I've been a big DC fan, and I always wanted them to do a cinematic universe when a Marvel was starting, but I heard James Gunn is trying to do his own cinematic universe now, like, but, and maybe it's because these movies are bombing, so maybe it's for the best he start a new DC cinematic universe, so it makes sense. And also, a lot of people, like, I feel like there wasn't a lot of advertisement for this. Like, I was in the car with someone yesterday, and I saw this movie yesterday, and they were like, "Oh yeah," a buddy of mine said like, "Oh yeah," he said he forgot this movie was coming out. Like, I think due to lack of advertisement, there's a lot of people forgetting this movie is coming out. But yeah, and I said this in my other video, my non-spoiler review, but I don't know anything about I don't know any Rotten Tomato scores. Like, maybe it has a green splat on Rotten Tomatoes, maybe it has a fresh score, or maybe the audience has a fresh score or a Rotten score, while both of them, like maybe it has a good score, but maybe the audience doesn't, but maybe the tomato has a bad score, but maybe it has a fresh audience score. So I don't know. So I'll have to look that up. I didn't want to know any reviews yet. I kind of want to go this. I did this with the other DC movies, but I thought I was expecting them to just have their own scores. But I didn't want to know for Shazam this too for this movie. But yeah. So oh, and there's another part that because there's a dream where they reference Wonder Woman and other DC heroes, and they reference the Flash. Like I like that he even points out there's another superhero who wears red, has a lightning bolt, and I like that because they're both wear red, goes fast, and has lightning bolts. But anyways, so I like that. Shaz- And I there's a scene with Wonder Woman in a dream, and at first they didn't show the face, and they're like, it was a fake Wonder Woman, and they're like, maybe Wonder Woman might not appear. But here's a spoiler alert: Shazam, Billy Batson dies, and they literally Billy buried him. And I thought, wait, are they literally gonna kill him off? Is he dead? But then I was like, no. But then there was like the only way to bring back the staff if is from the gods, but all the gods are dead. And it's like, and then Wonder Woman comes out, and it's Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, and she says, "Not everyone." And then she walks in, playing the music, and I literally screamed in the theater, "Wonder Woman!" Like I literally said out loud, "Wonder Woman!" Yeah. But yeah, dude. And they literally played the theme, do 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 do. I love that. And so she brings back the staff, and then Billy comes back from the dead. And here's something I think I said this in my other reviews, but my when I saw Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness with my dad, he said, I feel like everyone gets a one up in these superhero movies. Like when they die, they come back. Now, that was a cliche that happened in the comics long ago. Like superheroes die, then they come back from the dead. But yeah, I feel like they are doing it with this. Like they kill them off and then bring them back from the dead. Like Iron Man stayed dead, but no, but here they literally kill off Shazam and then bring him back from the dead in 1 second. But any, but yeah, but I was happy to see Wonder Woman, and there's and they even do a joke where what is with our son's in love with older girls? Because Anne was a god and she's like 6,000 years old. But yeah, I love seeing Wonder Woman. I'm surprised they didn't ask her to be a member of the Justice League. He didn't ask him to be a member of the Justice League. But anyways, it was great seeing. And Zachary Levi is a really good actor. I like him as Shazam. I feel like he had a parts that may have been too annoying. Like there was some like I don't remember if I said this in this video, but I said this in my non-spoiler review. But there were some parts where I felt like maybe Zachary Levi Shazam got a bit too annoying in some parts, but anyways, I love the third act. I love seeing them fight and monsters. Like that was pretty cool because I always want to see a movie where like superheroes fight like a Godzilla level monster. Like I always want to see that in a movie. I think they kind because when I was a kid, I loved Godzilla movies and superhero movies, and I always wanted to see a superhero fight a big giant building-sized monster. But yeah, but they fought a dragon, and that was cool. I loved seeing them fight a dragon. But anyways, that's my review for my spoiler review for Shazam: Fury of Gods. I hope you liked it. Oh, there's another mid end credit scene. Remember, there's a mid credit scene and an end credit scene. So the end credit scene is Dr. Savani, but Savannah, and he has a beard, and then that Calipater, Dr. Mind or Mr. Mind comes back, and he was like, I'm sorry I left you here. I have a plan. I kind of wish there were the villains. Also, there were the villains in the movie, like I guess they didn't want to repeat the villains, but you could have used Black Adam. But here they used Dr. Savannah, and it's that Caliper's like, I have a plan. It just took me a long time to come back because I'm just a Calipitter, but now I'll, but now I have a plan. And he's like, okay, what is it? I'll come back later. And he's like, what? No. And so yeah, but I don't know if they'll make a Shazam 3 because the actor who's playing Billy is getting old. Oh, and there's another reference to, they literally said Captain Marvel. Like they call him Captain Marvel in this. Like there's a scene where the fans, because they're making up funny names, like they called him Captain Marvel at one point, and then they said, and there's an actor who's wearing the Billy Batson shirt from the comics, like the red shirt with yellow sleeves and necks part. Like they literally have a scene where a guy is wearing there, and I don't know if he's the actor who was in like the Shazam TV show, but anyway, so that's my review on Captain Shazam. Shazam. So, and they literally said, "What's my superhero name?" Your name is Shazam. I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." And they're like, "We still could have made it better." But anyway, so and they did reference Captain Marvel Jr. Like that's my sidekick hero Jr. I forget what Freddy's name wanted to be, but yeah, they kind of remember reference the Junior thing. But anyways, that's my review on my move on the Shazam Fury of God movie. Did you like it? Did you didn't like it? What are your thoughts? But that's my review, and see you next time.